is Russ. And I'm back out on the road again. Well, actually, this is the second time back out on the road again. Traded bikes. Yeah, I was on the Deer 20 a moment ago. Now I'm on the electric bike company Model S. Yeah, the big beach cruiser. Yeah, I always have a lot of fun on this bike. It's because it's different. Yeah, it's different. So where are we heading now? Well, just around town. Nowhere special. Just figured I'd take another ride out. It's early enough in the morning. Yeah, thinking about all that, jumping on the bike quickly and all that. Yeah, I didn't bring my cell phone. I left it on the other bike. How do you like that? I didn't bring my water bottle either. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I think the biggest issue with not having my cell phone with me is if in case I have a flat or something like that and I need to call for help, I can't call for help. I do have tools in the back of the bike though, but I would sure hate to have to work on the bike outside. I'd rather bring it home and work on it. I mean, if it's something simple, I can fix it, but if it's like a flat tire, forget it. Today it's not so hot, so I guess it's not as bad. Okay, this person's letting us go, so we'll go. Yeah, a lot of times, at least in our area, a lot of the cars are kind of used to seeing bikes around this area, and they'll let you go. I mean, I know that I've had people make comments like, "Oh, you went in front of the car or whatever." Hey, sometimes they want me to go. All right. So if you don't go, it just holds everything up because they won't go until you go. I think the mentality is, and we're not running over this bike rider. We're gonna make sure that bike rider goes and gets out of our way, then we'll go. So it's just the way it is, Every area there's differences in acceptability of bikes, I guess, or not acceptability. Around here, they're kind of used to us. Yeah, they know we're going to be around. So let me tell you a little bit about this Model S. My Model S has been set up with a cadence sensor. I had this bike before they had the torque sensor as an option. I think you can get a Model S with torque sensor if you wanted to. I think that's how it is now. I think you have options to do a torque sensor or a cadence sensor. I mean, pretty much electric bike company customizes the bike the way you want it anyway. Let's take a left here. We're always going to the same general areas. That's okay. I'm just riding around the neighborhoods. And so this is a cadence sensor bike. It's a little different than some of my other bikes. It's such that, if you're throttling, right now I'm throttling. If you throttle, it'll only go to the speed that your pedal assist is set for. Like this is PAS 3 out of 5 on this bike, or 4 out of 5 on this bike. And I'm going 16.2 miles per hour. All right. And that's full throttle. And that's only because that's as far as this bike will take me on pedal assist level 4. And if I move it up to pedal assist level 5 and I throttle, then it'll go up to its 20 mile per hour limit. Okay? 20.1, 19.8, so it limits you out there. And of course, if you're at a lower pedal assist, then it goes even slower than that. So if you want full throttle, you've got to be on pedal assist level 5, and then you can feather it. You can go faster or slower based on how you push down, how hard you push down on the throttle. And again, this is considered a class 3 bike based on the definition of when they manufactured this bike. Okay, we talked about this on another video, which I think will come out before this one will. That was the one I did on the Deer 20. That at that time they were saying class 3 was 28 miles per hour pedaled, 20 miles per hour throttled. Now they're saying 28 miles per hour and there is no throttle on a class 3 bike. That's not how they defined it when they made this bike. All right, So I keep wondering how are these bikes now viewed? Are they in violation of the law? I mean, they weren't when they made it. So that's why I had that video about this whole concept. Now, if I don't throttle, since I'm on pedal assist level 5 right now, if I don't throttle and I just pedaled it, you'll see I'll break the 20 miles per hour on this display screen. I know it's hard for you guys to see it because the angle is not right there for you. All right, so here, I'm gonna just pedal now. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So this is based on pedaling, right? But if you throttle, you only get 20. All right. So here's another thing too. You know, sometimes I used to throttle and pedal at the same time. So I'll throttle and I'll just start pedaling a little bit, then I'll stop pedaling, but I'll continue to throttle. If I was pedaling and I was going fast and I started to throttle, it would drop me back down to 20 miles per hour because the 20 takes precedent over the 28 on this kind of bike. So if you want to go faster, you better get your finger off of the throttle because otherwise you'll be limited to 20. Okay. Now, this bike, as I've mentioned in the past, is rather heavy because I have 2 sets of batteries in here. I have a set of batteries in the basket, then I got a set of batteries in the rear rack. So I don't remember what the amp hours with this is. I'll have to look it up. Look it up and put a graphic up again. But I think it's at least 15 amp hours. It might be more. 16, 18, I don't know. So I get double that because it's 2 sets of batteries in here. And because of that second set of batteries sitting in the front basket, it makes the front a little bit heavy. And overall, it makes the bike heavy. It takes a while to get used to. Now, people have asked if my wife has ridden this bike before, and the answer is no. It's too heavy. The way it sits right now, it's too heavy for her. I think if that other battery wasn't there, yeah, she probably would be able to ride this bike. Yeah. I'm pedaling right now. And again, with cadence sensor, I don't have to pedal hard, and I'm moving pretty good. As long as I keep my leg moving, it's gonna go. Now, interestingly, I saw a video recently from the owner of the electric bike company. He was talking about cadence sensors versus torque sensors. And he says, although their bikes can go either way, he's a cadence sensor guy. It's kind of like me. I'm kind of a cadence sensor guy. I don't know why he is. Maybe his leg is not as strong, just like mine is not very strong. So it's just easier for me if I have cadence sensing working with me. But there are some bikes that I kind of prefer the torque sensor, like the new Stellar Falcon from Ufree. I kind of like the torque sensor on there. So that bike would be one that I'm just going to leave it as a torque sensor bike when I'm riding it. Mrs. Wright, of course, will be riding it as a cadence sensor because she likes the cadence sensor as well over torque. So yeah, everyone has their own preference. It's no big deal. Now, what's kind of cool about this bike is, people always turn and look at it because it kind of has that old beach cruiser type of look to it, and it's got the wooden fenders and the wooden chain guard on it. It's got a lot of chrome on it. It's just how I designed it. You can have them build it any way you want them to build it. And the color scheme, whatever you want to do, they'll color match it for you too. You give them one of those Home Depot paint swatch things, or if you can give them the formula for the color, they'll match it. You can paint it any way you want it. I just picked one of their standard colors. This one, I think it's called Niagara, which is kind of a blue color. And then I picked a silver and chrome on everything instead of like black. A lot of bikes nowadays have black everything, you know. So it's got chrome handlebars and chrome baskets, and the crank is chrome. Everything is chrome. So it has a different type of look to it. Now, just like some of the other bikes, this one does not have a thing for a water bottle. So what I do is I just I zip tie a water bottle cage right to the basket. I do that pretty much for all of my bikes, you know that. The reason I don't use it even if they had it, I don't put it where they typically put it, between your legs there, on the top tube or something, is that it gives me more clearance if I don't put a bottle there, so I can step through it a little bit easier. And so I just reach down and grab the water bottle in front, if I had a water bottle. I didn't bring it with me. And the saddle is really nice too. This is the saddle, when people ask me, what saddle do you recommend? I usually recommend this one from Electric Bike Company. Yeah, it's the nicest, cushiest one I think I have. The Giddy Up is pretty nice too, but that's just kind of a weird looking saddle. Not everybody would go for that. But if you want a standard looking saddle, but it's wide and nice and cushy, yeah, go to Electric Bike Company, look up their saddles. Yeah, it costs a little bit more, but it's a nice one. Yeah. And then it has their suspension seat post on it too. It's the one that's from Electric Bike Company. I really think it's actually a Sun Tour, because it looks like a Sun Tour, but it's all chrome. So feels the same to me. So that's why I kind of like riding this bike, because it's got a lot of cush to it. It's nice and cushy. It feels different. It's a step through. I can walk right through it easily. So now in this direction we would be going to Fussy Woods, but I don't plan to go there. I'm just riding their general neighborhoods here. This would still be Arlington Heights bike route. Okay, let's turn. People are doing garage sales right now. People are trying to get rid of their stuff. I mean, it's springtime, spring cleaning time, right? Get rid of all the stuff. But what I like about the springtime is, I mentioned before, is everybody's grass looks nice and green. Trees are nice and green. Everything is nice. For now. For now. It'll get worse later. Yeah, when it starts to dry out everything, and then people don't water the grass, and then next thing you know, it looks really bad. But for now, yeah, everything's nice and green. You know where's really green that I really appreciate? I remember driving through, it was Pennsylvania. Yeah, any of you guys from Pennsylvania? Yeah, put a comment if you're from Pennsylvania. Yeah, I like your rolling hills, man. That looks so nice. I remember first time I was I in college? I think I was out of college already. And I was with a Christian tour company. We were actually a touring group, singing group. Not me, I did the audio for them. Yeah, they went all over the eastern United States and everything. So we were in these vans that they were driving. I didn't drive. I just stayed in there while other people were driving. But yeah, we all liked Pennsylvania. We were all like, wow, it looks so nice out here. All right, where are we going here? Let's go this way. But yeah, the rolling hills, man, it's nice. You know where I'd like to go one day, although I know we'll never do it, is there's a smorgasbord out on the East Coast. Is that Pennsylvania? I don't know where that's at. It's like Shady Maple Smorgasbord or something like that. Yeah, I've seen it on YouTube. I go, I wouldn't mind going there, trying some of that stuff. You know, it's like the biggest buffet out there or something. Okay, it's typical Americanized food, right? And it's I think it's the Amish do stuff there too. But hey, I wouldn't mind doing it. But nobody would go with me. And now with the diabetes thing going on, there's stuff I can't eat anymore, or I should at least limit Should have done it before I had the diabetes. All right, we're right next to the highway. We're gonna have to get off of this road. A lot of trucks here. There's some type of thing going on. So yeah, I'd like to try that Shady Maple Smorgasbord. You guys familiar with that? Anyone go there before? Let me know if you went there before and what you thought of the place. I mean, it's standard stuff. It's nothing really fancy, you know. But yeah, I like going to the buffets, as you know. Not that I will eat a lot anymore. I actually eat very little now compared to what I used to. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't want to go. Try a little of this, little of that. You know, you don't have to have a lot of everything. Anyway, I was texting my daughter today, and I told her what I thought got me into watching all these food review videos and the like. It was a program on WTTW TV, which is Channel 11 here in Chicago. It's a program called Check Please. Now, if you're from Chicago, you might remember this. They had two hosts. One original was named Amanda Puck, and then later Alberta Singh, I believe. Alpana Singh? Something like that. But anyway, they're on YouTube, so I looked them up. Just look up Check Please. And they had some of the old episodes, so I was watching. I think that was the show that got me started watching these food review things. Because when I was younger, I used to watch that all the time. What I liked about that show, let's stop here. What I liked about that show is that they had regular people reviewing food from restaurants in the Chicago area. So they would pick their favorite restaurants, and then there'd be like 3 people, and then all 3 of them would go to these restaurants individually, and then they would review the restaurant. And so it's not like regular reviewers, it's just the average person, what they thought of the restaurant that the other people picked. Some people liked some of them, some people didn't like some of them. So very honest reviews from the average person. So that was a good show. And I think they even did one up in San Francisco too, because I saw a thing that says Check Please San Francisco. But I think it started out in Chicago. Yeah, it was a PBS station, WTTW, Channel 11, public broadcasting. Yeah, I missed that show. I really liked that show. Yeah, we're just talking about anything we want to talk about. This really is technically an anything goes type of video. Because we're not specifically just talking about e-bikes today. We're just talking for the sake of talking, taking a bike out. We got to cross through here. It's always noisy because this is a really busy intersection. Oh, here's another interesting tidbit. Remember I said that I wasn't wearing the safety vests for a while because, you know, when I was wearing jackets and the like, the safety vests wouldn't fit too well because, you know, jackets would puff up and then the safety vests were kind of tight, so I didn't wear it. Apparently I can wear it now. I'm wearing the orange one this time. I bought an orange one. Usually I have a yellow safety vest on. But then when I got some yellow bikes, like the Deere 20 is yellow, the Engwe E26 is yellow, I said, yeah, the yellows don't match. I mean, if you don't match the actual color of the bike, it looks like you're clashing a little bit. So I said, I got to change the color. So I went to an orange vest whenever I ride the yellow bikes. Well, the yellow vest fits just as good, and this orange vest is actually kind of too big now, almost. So yeah, I guess I have lost weight. Not just in the belly area, but even in the rest of my body area. So yeah, it's not tight. It's not tight across the chest or anything. It's not tight in the abdomen area. It fits well. And, you know, the thing is, for yourself, you don't really notice it as much because it's happening to you. But others have said, yeah, I can tell you've lost weight. And then now, since the clothes are fitting the older clothes that when I lost a lot of weight before, and now this vest situation works, yeah, I guess I have lost some weight. Oh, here's an interesting thing. Maybe you guys can tell me. I talked to my friend Stacy about this. Stacy's an X-ray technician. So anyway, we were talking, and I was kind of feeling on my chest area by the sternum. Felt like a bump, like right dead in the center. So I asked him about that, and he goes, oh yeah, that's the, whatever it's technically called, I don't know what it's called. He goes, it feel like a little button? Yeah, I go, yeah, it does. I go, I never felt that before. He says, that's probably because you lost some weight. There you go. Yeah, I could never feel that before. It's too much fat in a way, I guess, I don't know. I says, yeah, I never felt that. I thought there was like a mosquito bite or something. He goes, no. He says, that's probably your whatever that's called on the sternum. Do you guys know about this? Do you guys have that? Put a comment, let me know. Do you have that little bump, right, like on the bottom part of your sternum? I mean, at first I thought, is that a mosquito bite? What's the deal, All right, I'm going to have to take a left here, but I'm going to let this car go by first. And he says, no, I think that's this, whatever that is called. So, yeah, I guess the weight loss is being felt and seen and clothed. So, there you go. And it makes you feel good, feel like you've accomplished something by losing some weight. The key is to kind of keep it off. That's the main thing, and it kind of loses a little bit more. I haven't lost that much since the 30 pounds. It's been going up and down a pound or two. It'll go to 28, then it'll go to 30, then it'll go to 31, and 31 point something, and it'll go back to 30. So it's hovering around the 30 at this point. It's okay, as long as it doesn't go too far up. If it comes back down, I'm fine with that. I'd like to go more than that, though. I think if I could lose at least another 20, I would feel better. But I did note that the last time I took the bike out, I took the Stellar Falcon out. I was, no, it wasn't Stellar Falcon. What did I take? Okay, I took yeah, I can't even remember which bike I took. How do you like that? All right, hold on here. Yeah, the last time I rode out to Bussy Woods. What bike was that? See, this is the thing. My memory is so bad it just like disappears on me. Then it'll come back later. Then I'll forget what I was talking about too. Like right now, I don't even know what I was talking about. See, the thing is, if I see something else that grabs my attention, like I was concentrating on those cars that were coming up, I'll just lose my train of thought altogether. I was never like that before, but I am now. Oh well, must not have been important. I can't believe that. That's terrible. That's terrible. How's your memories? Have you guys lost some of your memories? I mean, I can't even remember 2 seconds ago. That's terrible. 2 seconds ago. I always say everything's 2 seconds ago. It takes me 2 seconds to do this. Yeah, it's longer than 2 seconds. People have little phrases they say all the time, right? You'll hear me say right a lot, or okay. It's like some of the kids used to say like all the time. Like, this is like, and like. Yeah, drive you nuts. And we all have our favorite phrases that we say since we were kids, probably, right? Right? Like cool. People will say cool. When did cool become cool? In the 50s? When was that a thing? It's kind of, I think cool has been the thing that's been hanging around the longest. What do you think? I remember There was a friend of mine's in college. He used to say boss. Oh, that's so boss. Never heard anyone say boss. I knew it was a thing, but I'd never heard anyone say that except for him. I think his brother said that too. So maybe in their area that's what they do, or maybe it's just them. Cool has always been cool to say. Boss, I don't know. And that's neat. You say that's neat? When did neat become popular? Is that the 60s? I don't know when that was. Oh, that's really neat. I find myself still saying that. People don't say neat anymore. What do kids say nowadays? What are some of the phrases they use? I don't know. I don't have any kids around me to know all the phrases. That's righteous. Righteous? That's gnarly. Gnarly, righteous. That's bad. Ooh, that's so bad. I've been writing too long, coming up with weird things to say. No, that's the thing, with e-bikes. You're not really thinking about anything that's really that important sometimes. You're just kind of riding along, taking it easy, seeing the sights. I like this weather right now. This is probably upper 60s right now. I always said 70 degrees was my ideal temperature to go riding. It's nice and cool, you're not hot. It's usually around this time of year when that happens. We'll take a right here. It's around this time of year, and like I said, I like this time of year when I see the grass is all green, trees have all gotten their leaves back already. So yeah, it's nice. I like it. I tell you, without the e-bike, I wouldn't do any of this stuff. I would be stuck in the house. The e-bike has really opened up the world for me. It really has, and especially since that knee replacement. Man, that knee replacement was a blessing in disguise, I guess, because if I didn't have the knee replacement, I probably wouldn't have bought a knee bike. I'd probably still be riding my regular bike because I probably still could. I wouldn't be able to go to distances that I can do with my e-bike, right? Right. I mean, I'll go all the way down to the Botanic Gardens from this area, and it's a good 60-something mile round trip for me. Couldn't do that on a regular bike. There's no way. But I could do it with the e-bike if I had enough batteries. Now, I've been thinking about that. I says, if I were to do it again, could I do it with any of my bikes currently? I have my doubts. I was able to do it with the Rad Rover 5. Remember that? That was my very first bike. I changed out their battery to two 20 amp hour batteries. Oops, something just hit me in the helmet. Bug. Changed it out to two 20 amp hour batteries, 52 volt 20 amp hour batteries from Unit Pack Power. Remember that company? Yeah, they've had some pretty bad rep lately. Yeah, Amazon actually sent me a thing that said that the company's no longer selling on Amazon and all that stuff because of all the big worldwide negativity against them. People are saying their batteries are blowing up and everything. I sold that bike off to someone local here, but I forwarded the letter to him. I let him know that this is what they're saying. I didn't want him not to know about it. He may have heard about it before anyways, but they actually sent a letter to everybody who bought one of these things. And he bought both my batteries, of course, with that bike. But okay, back to the story. When I switched it over, I think the reason the Rad Rover was able to go that 60 miles is because I pedaled a lot of it. Okay, and that bike only does 750 watts. It doesn't peak out any higher or anything like that. I think, a lot of people said that bike is actually a 500 watt motor that peaks at 750. I don't know. Rad doesn't claim that. Rad claims 750. But the whole point is this: if your motor goes higher, you're eating up more power, right? If you're eating more power, you're getting less range. So I'm thinking, because I pedaled a lot, the bike kind of limited itself to 750 watts max, and it had a power meter on the bike's screen. I could see that at times I was only doing maybe 300 watts, 250 watts or something, because you're pedaling and your pedal assist was lower and all that. So I think because I pedaled and I had 2 batteries with me, I was able to do it. Can I do it today? And I have my doubts, because a lot of my bikes, they peak out at 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 watts. And a lot of times I like going faster now than I did back then. I throttle a lot now too. Throttling now, let me pedal a little bit. So lower my pedal assist levels. So I kept thinking, I says, can I actually do it? I think if I were to do it, I should take a bike that doesn't have a very high wattage usage. I had to pedal it. Hopefully it's lighter in weight, and then that I have 2 batteries that are at least 20 amp hours. If that's the case, I can do it. Now I have several bikes that have 2 batteries, right? Like the Deer and everything, the 2 Deers. I did take the Deer 26-inch version out there once. Came back really close. Kept thinking, man, am I gonna make it back? But again, I limited my my ride so that I wasn't throttling the entire time. One of those times I was heading out there and I actually didn't go all the way through it. I came back. I didn't actually hit the garden. I went on the path and came back, and then as I was coming back, I got a flat. Remember that one? The rear tire of the Deer got a flat. So, yeah, it makes me wonder, can I actually still do that particular ride at this point? Do any of my bikes have that ability? Do I have enough batteries is what I'm saying too. Anyway, we were talking before about the ability to bring a second battery with you, remember? And people were saying, Russ, that looks terrible, because I was putting my batteries in the boxes that they ship in, the shipping box, and then just strapping that box to the rear rack. He goes, you got this expensive bike and it just looks cheap. Yeah, it's cheap, but it was padded, it was protected, bungee cord. And then some others recommended that I get some other way of doing it. Yeah, we're not going to go there. Let's turn. I don't want to go on that street down there. Let's do a quick turn here. So anyway, somebody recommended that I look into bringing a toolbox. I go, really, a toolbox? You know what? Whoever recommended that, you're right. I bought myself a toolbox. I'll show it on video one day, but I'll tell it to you right now. I went on Amazon and I measured my batteries, okay? Because some of my batteries are short, others are long, okay? I mean physically. So I looked at the longest battery. Nobody had a toolbox that'll fit the longest one. I think that's the Pedigo battery. It's a little too long. But all the other ones, I found one box that would fit it. And so I says, yeah, even though some of the batteries are shorter, I says, you got to go for the one that's longer, because you don't know which bike you're going to take. So I ordered it up. It's actually made by a company that makes, which way am I going here? Let's go this way. I'm not familiar with these streets, so I'm kind of going around in circles here. It's by a company called Plano, Plano, okay? And they make fishing tackle boxes. That's what I know them for, but they also make a toolbox, apparently. But on a toolbox, what they have is it's an opening in the toolbox. You flip the top over. And then there's a pull out section, you know, where you can have like an upper. It's almost like an upper drawer, bottom thing, you know, bottom and the upper. So I said that actually is kind of nice. I could put the battery on the bottom part and actually keep the tools on the upper part, so that when I want the battery, I just lift up that upper drawer type of thing, or is that a good name for a drawer? I could just lift that up and then get to the battery and put that thing right back down inside the box. I'll show you a picture of it or something if I can remember to put it up on here on the screen. And so then, as far as using a bungee cord, that always kind of like was kind of iffy. Sometimes bungee cord it's too tight. Sometimes it's not tight enough, you know. So I bought these things called a lashing strap. You know what that is? It's kind of the same thing that I use on my wheels on my rear bike rack for my car. The magicycle rack has that. You know, you tie down the wheels with it a little bit. So I bought these inexpensive ones. It's too bad that they don't make a black one or something. It's like neon green. And then it's like 12 feet long, so it's really big. So I kept thinking, should I cut it? And I said, no, let me try doing it without cutting it. And I'm glad I didn't cut it, because the more times you wrap it around, it actually becomes tighter around it, so that then the box doesn't move when it's on the back of the rack. So anyway, I'll try to show a picture of it at least, so you kind of see how I did it. And the neon green, as ugly as it is, it kind of makes the thing stand out a little bit. But again, it kind of looks ugly. My wife says, couldn't you find a better looking strap? I go, well, Russ is cheap. I told you guys that. I says, I got 2 of these for, I don't know what it was, $8 or something at Menards hardware store. So, so that's what I'm going to use for carrying a second battery now. Now inside the box, there's still room, because some of the batteries aren't that big and some of them are bigger. So what you do is you take the packing foam that your bike came in, you know, that kind of foam. It's like really dense foam. You know, we're not talking styrofoam here. We're talking the dense squeezable foam. You put that for your battery. Now I'm gonna have to use several different types because my batteries vary in sizes. But you put that on the bottom, you put that on the sides, you put that on the top. You kind of fill it up with foam. And then that top drawer section, that's not a good word for it. I don't know what they would call that. That top section, you put your tools on top of that, so that you have access to the tools quickly if you need to, but you can take the whole section out without getting in the way of your battery. Cool. And that box was not that expensive. I can't remember what it was. $16.99, I'm thinking, $18.99, something like that. It's not real expensive. Like $8 for the double straps. The foam is free as long as you didn't throw away all the foam that came with your bike when they shipped it to you. Anyway, I'll show it to you. You can get something like that for yourself if you have a double battery. Or if you don't have a double battery, now it's time to get a double battery. Bring it along with you. All right. Hey, anyway, that's really all I have for you guys. Let me turn over here. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. We are approaching the 19,000 subscriber mark. I think we're at 18,700 and something right now. I appreciate each and every one of you guys watching. I know a lot of you guys watch but don't subscribe. Hey, do me a favor, do the subscription. Doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is just click the button. Just click the button that says subscribe, and that'll bring the count up. The whole point of the subscriptions is it helps you for advertisers trying to decide which channels they're going to advertise on and the like. And the advertising is going to happen anyway, right? There's no way really to. Actually, the only way you can get rid of ads is if you paid for YouTube Premium, I guess it's called, where you prepay monthly, then it runs without an ad. Other than that, most of us don't do that, of course, but other than that, ads will of course run. So yeah, advertisers kind of look at how many subscribers does the guy have, you know, is it worth advertising with him and the like. That just helps support me. So I appreciate that. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time.